Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Shorts, where today we're just totally going exotic. The fact of the matter is that we're late with our episodes this year, like turbo late. I mean, it's May for crap's sake. So, let's take a dive into the deep end. Our last episode covered American wintergreen. Didn't know it was a garden perennial, now did you? A native garden perennial. Well, this one is not a garden perennial, and it ain't native, but you know you want it. Its scientific name is Pseuderathemum palatiferum. Now, if you read its common name printed, it would be Hoan-Ngoc. You'd think it was Hoan Ngoc or something like that. However, that's Vietnamese, and it's pronounced Juan-Nahk. Two-Nahk. Three-Nahk. Corny jokes strike every time. Well, anyway, the pseudo in Pseuderathemum means false, and the Eranthemum part is a plant genus. It's a totally different group of plants. So this plant looks like an Eranthemum. Henceforth, it's a fake Eranthemum. Oh, we're not judging. We're totally not judging. Now, as I said, it's native to Vietnam, henceforth the name. There are going to be other names coming up shortly that I'm probably going to mangle in pronunciation, and if any of you out there want to send me a correction, I would love it. So, it's only hardy in USDA zone 10 or warmer, so effectively for everybody else it is a tropical/annual. You can't have them all, kids. So, its soil pH preference is unclear/unknown. I've seen some theoretical soil pH preferences, however they're not from reputable sources, so I'm just going to say unknown. It seems to be doing pretty good in this potting soil, which has been enriched with dried chicken manure. I mean, it's doing. Look at how dark those leaves are. Those thick, juicy leaves, extra thick. So, its exposure is partial sun, and it loves the heat and humidity. It also likes to be watered. I'm not sitting in a puddle watered, but thoroughly watered, preferably every day or every other day, especially in a case like this where the plant has a pot that is sized up appropriately. The pot it was in was a 4-incher. The pot I bought this specimen in, and there's 2 of them, and it's moved up to this, which gives it plenty of room to move, so I can soak this pot once every 3 days until its roots dominate, and it was absolutely pot-bound when I got it. Remember, folks, if you see a pot-bound plant, you take it out of its pot and you see roots everywhere and very little soil, loosen the roots. You might have to do a butterfly cut. It helps the plant. The plant will thank you later with high yield. Anyway, its height can be 4 to 5 feet in a large container with a width of 2 to 3 feet. Assuming you can keep it alive in the winter, you have a greenhouse, something to keep it from experiencing 50-degree or lower temperatures. That's going to be interesting this winter. Very interesting. Anyway, AKA, other names, other known as, I'm mispronouncing this, Juan-Hoa, Xuan-Hoa. If you know how that's actually pronounced, please let me know in the comments. Next, Phaya Wanon. That's from Thailand. So, if you're Thai and you know how that's actually pronounced, I would appreciate it. The spelling is Phyawanon. I'm sure you all heard that. There are kittens in the garden now. We have more kittens. These things do happen. Apparently someone played Barry White out here about 2 months ago. Anyway, now, this plant came to the attention of the West, Europe, America, in the 90s. Given our America's interesting track record with Vietnam, I'm not surprised it took that long. But anyway, it is used as traditional Vietnamese medicine. The dried leaves are used for tea. It is known to help with diabetes, and some studies indicate that it may halt or stop the growth of cancer cells, which makes it possibly a critical herbal pharmaceutical for those of you out there who have cancer and may want to go the natural route, skipping on chemotherapy. Now, there's 2 things I have to say about that. Before you do such a thing, consult your doctor, get a second opinion from a credible source, do your full research. I know that sounds cliche, but You only have one life. Is it risky to screw it up on maybe? Think about it carefully before you do anything. Now, second, I should point out before people say chemotherapy is unnatural. A lot of chemotherapy drugs actually come from common plants. There are specific... Those little kittens are squeaking in the background. There are a specific compound that comes from them. So, of course, they are natural, they originate as natural, and are refined down. For instance, one major chemotherapy drug comes from the common garden annual, which is known as Catharanthus. Also known as... I don't know what they're doing back there, but geez. Anyway, Catharanthus, which is, it's sometimes called Vinca, or Madagascar Vinca, something like that. You can buy it in cell packs at any nursery in the country, pretty much. It loves heat, it's got milky sap, it's the source of one of the chemotherapy drugs, and there are many others, but unfortunately there's not enough time to cover them all in this video. That might be a scientific video for later. Because, let's face it, we got all kinds of content. We gotta do 52 weeks in a very short period. Anyway, so, with that said, I'm just gonna say that this plant is something you should have. If you've got diabetes or know someone who does, this plant could help. Cancer is another option. It's worth having, if only for the bragging rights, because, let's face it, the bragging rights are about half of it anyway. So, that's all I have for you on this lovely plant. If you liked this episode, please hit like, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section. If you have a suggestion for a plant you'd like me to cover, go ahead and send me a suggestion. As always, folks, keep them growing. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.